was easy, definitely easy. Week 2 had a little bit of a hiccup, so I think I was just a little bit more focused. This week I didn't want to play with my numbers as much as far as macros went. So food wise, super easy. Programming wise, fell a little bit behind. I think I got 1 client's programs to them the day after I said I would, so that was kind of a frustrating thing for me, especially since I like to be. Fun fact, biggest obstacle I'm running into thus far with my workouts at home is that I get really caught up in whatever I'm doing, and then I'll be planning on starting my workouts at, say, 3 o'clock. A little earlier than that. I just sit down, I'm sipping on my pre-workout, I'm working on whatever I'm working on. This time I was editing my vlog for week 2, and then I finally go, oh, what time is it? Oh, it's 4 o'clock. And so I have now put myself in a position where I need to get her up, get her changed, get her cleaned up, get her fed, and then do my workout with her. Yeah, I just really need to stop doing it because it's wildly inconvenient instead of doing my workout while she's asleep and then not having to worry about watching her and working out at the same time. So we got some typical weekday activities. We got the Amory, say hi, some laundry, whoop, that we got to put away. This is just kind of the stuff that I don't know if it's even really worth putting into some of these videos. You want to get down? Because it's just day-to-day life stuff. A lot of times, while Emery's awake like this is the kind of stuff that I'm trying to do. I can't really use my computer because she gets all handsy on it. I can't really do much work on my phone for the same reason. Once she sees technology, she's like, ooh, and grabs up all on it. So more laundry, cleaning, or just playing with her, maybe try and teach her some stuff. It's good, it's fun. It is usually not that stressful, but it can be stressful. I would say 90% of the time, not very stressful. All right, week 3 was smooth enough. All right, let's take another whack at recapping week 3. Really smooth, very easy, no pitfalls at all during the week. Biggest weakness so far is prioritizing my workout time. I think I only had maybe 1 workout this week that I didn't have Emery outside with me at the same time, or I had to stop to help do something. There's a giant wasp out here flying around. It's making me real nervous. I don't like being stung. I'm not allergic, but it hurts. It just crawled into the siding in my house. I think it lives there because it's out here all the time when I work out. It's like a long black wasp with some like yellow markings on it. I don't know. I'll reference to Sam. Maybe she'll be able to tell me what it is. I'll throw up a picture so you can see what I'm talking about. But it looks like it'll hurt really bad if it stings me. Finishing my pre-workout for my workout today. Just put Emery down for a nap. I got legs. I have my heart rate monitor. I'm gonna do my workout according to my heart rate. I got this idea from Jeremy Rin. Cool dude. Used to work for him at GNC. And he said, have you ever tried to work out according to your heart rate? And once it gets below about 130, you start your next set. And so I'm gonna do that. I did it for legs one time 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, man. I forget, 2 weeks ago, I think. And I had a great leg day. Sweat a ton. And with being at home and not in the gym, not being able to do a ton of weight, I find myself prioritizing the intensity a little more, so it helps me gauge the intensity. I won't take too long rests. It also helps to keep the workouts a little bit shorter, so it's easier to keep it in the time constraints of an Emery nap. There it is. I don't know if you could see it on camera or not, but it just flew by. So really smooth, diet went well, didn't have any trip ups. So that's it. Week 3 was good. Oh, it definitely lives in there. It's carrying something into that hole now. This whole video is going to suddenly become about this wasp that's crawling in and out of the side of my house. All right, so that's kind of diet, had no issues. So one thing that you should consider when you're dieting, especially for a show, if you're counting macros, you really need to count everything. So if it goes into your mouth, it counts. So like this pre-workout, for example, it is 2 grams of carbohydrates and 15 calories. Now, in my head, I can go, that's basically nothing. I'm not gonna count that just because it's so little. But it adds up, because if I have this pre-workout and then I cook with some olive oil, I'm like, oh, it's only about like, I don't know, maybe a teaspoon. It's nothing. And you do that, those calories are gonna add up all week to the point where it's going to slow down, stall your progress, stop your progress, depending on how lenient you are. So, good rule of thumb is if it goes into your body, you're just going to record it, period. That's it, end of story. So when you're cooking, measure out how much oil you use in your pan. Because even if all of that doesn't end up in the food, some of it's going to end up in the food. And honestly, if you're looking to lose weight, it's better to count all of the oil you put in the pan, even though you're not going to actually eat all of it. That's just what I think. That's what works best for me. And it makes sure that nothing is getting out of your hands as far as tracking those calories go. Because that is the biggest obstacle I would say anyone runs into with tracking macros, is there's little bits that slip by them and then they don't actually accurately track, and then they're like, oh, I'm only eating, I don't know, 1,500 calories, but I'm not losing any weight. Dang, I have to cut my calories back even more. When in reality, they could be eating 1,800, 1,900 calories and not even know it. So definitely be very careful tracking all of your food. That'll make sure your progress continues. Oh, and then speaking of progress continuing, progress so far is good. Pulling up my Fitbit app, I track my weight in my Fitbit app because it's easy and it gives me a nice little breakdown. It tells me what the average is for the week, which is what I care about. All right, so if we go back, so we start out average 215.4, then down to 214.8, then down to 213.2, and then down to 212.1. So weight continues to drop really well. I'm looking to lose 1.7 pounds a week. That averages out to be 1.66 pounds a week, which is basically right there. So I'm really happy about that. My body fat is down to 10% flat. So started out at 12, 13%, I think. I can't quite remember. Anyways, I'm down to 10%, which is good. And then something I do consider is what is going to be happening with my body fat and in turn my hormone levels. While essential fat isn't until you get to about 5%. After 10%, lower than 10%, there are some studies that suggest your testosterone is no longer optimal. So that is something I'm going to keep in mind. And then I'm going to make sure I'm eating the right things to help and optimize that. So like raw carrots contain narogenin, which helps regulate your estrogen levels, make sure that's not going to be too high. Making sure I get plenty of cholesterol. Cholesterol. No, I'm just kidding. Make sure I get plenty of cholesterol. Dietary cholesterol does help with hormone production. I want to make sure I'm getting plenty of that. So I will continue to eat my whole eggs every day. That'll stay in throughout basically all of prep. Even if it gets down to a point where it needs to be the only fat, I like to make sure I have at least 2 whole eggs during the day. It provides really great choline levels, which is good for the brain, and it also contains a lot of cholesterol, which some people shy away from, but there's no real correlation between dietary cholesterol and increased cholesterol levels if you're in the healthy populace. So that doesn't bother me at all. I think it's a great thing to eat, plus it's chock full of a bunch of other micronutrients secondary to those. I think that's all the considerations for week 3. It's been easy, definitely been easy so far, and 0 complaints. That's good. I will check in with everyone next week. Till then, this freaking wasp, mate. That had to have gotten on camera. Anyways, till next week. See you guys.